can't figure it out, it's okay. I'm over it.
What does this say?
Yeah, it says you can put people in a timeout.
Does it dislike us?
Okay.
So you got it.
We're gonna try to figure it out. So,
You're live.
I'm live. Oh my goodness. No, I'm not Memorex, but I'm live. Okay. Is it close enough to 7 to start? Is it okay with you guys? So,
58.
my first piece is, as you can see from the program, called The Red Leaf. And this is the leaf here on my harp, here. And hi, Sally. Come on in. There's programs right at the last chair there in the back. Welcome. So thank you. That's The Red Leaf, which has a little bit of a story because it started out as a kind of like an exercise that I wrote to go with a book that I have called Finger Puzzles and Shapes for the Harp. And it started out as a one page, and I don't like using the word exercise, but it started as a one page, we could call it a study if you want. And then it started getting longer and longer and longer, and ended up to be a 4-page piece of music, which I published and recorded. But it started out as if somebody has my Finger Puzzles and Shapes for the Harp book. There's actually 2 versions of it in that book that are 1 page, and then it grew. So I chose the piece that we'll talk about in a little bit first, and then I needed to add to it. And so if you've been to my recital before, you know that it's just about sharing. It's not meant to be like master's degree, PhD, recital level stuff. It's just about sharing music that I discover that I like. And the next 2 are wintry things, and I don't want to, you know, tempt fate about winter, but this winter solstice is just a cool piece. And then I put it with In the Bleak Midwinter, which I know is kind of more of a Christmas song, but I don't usually get to do Christmas songs in my program because it's November. So I figured you'll give me permission to do those. So I do those as kind of a little mini set. The winter solstice and the In the Bleak Midwinter. So for those who are a little bit, if you're a new person, you're watching me mess with the harp before I start, this is called a lever harp or a folk harp. Sometimes a Celtic harp, sometimes Denise's harp. That's a joke, right? Actually, this is Violet. And some of you know why her name is Violet, but I will share. You know the program Downton Abbey, and the grandma is Violet. And I want to be her because she says just what she thinks. And I know those of you that know me think I always say just what I think, but not always, I promise. So that's how I get to say just what I think by naming my harp Violet. But it's a lever harp, and I have levers that give me half steps. So if I need a C sharp, I make a little lever adjustment. So before each piece, I have to make sure that the harp is basically in the right key. And this one is a little unusual. It's in B flat, but there's some F sharps in it. So you have to make sure you got the right levers before you start. So here is Eternity. And if I miss something, we'll find out. We'll definitely find out. Key of B flat, and it's relative minor of G, harmonic minor. It kind of goes back and forth. So let me see. So the rest of my program, we have a guest, Mr. Jeremy Meyer, who is the chair of Fine and Performing Arts here at Owens. Also a fine actor. He's done a lot of cool things. And in March, he's doing Steve Jobs. We'll have to make sure you guys can come to that. We'll talk about that. But I discovered every year, you guys know that I'm like, what shall I play on my recital? How many times can I do a recital? Doing it again. Every year, I seem to keep doing it again. So here we are. But I'm always looking in the last month or so before trying to find things. And I'm very fortunate because I write a column for a harp journal where I review harp music. So I get packages in the mail from people who want me to write about their music. So I had this book called Valley of the Dragon, and I had not yet written about it yet, and the lady who's the composer sent me an email. Dear Denise, did you get my package? She hasn't seen me write about her book yet. And I thought, I told her, of course, yes, I had her package, and she was in the queue, you had to write. So I got it out, and I said, wait a minute, this is perfect. So what we have is, and you can see on your program, there's a list of titles. It's basically a suite that has a story. And there are 13 tunes, and there's a little story that goes with each tune, and Jeremy has been kind enough, because I could read the story, but much more interesting to have someone else like Jeremy read it. So we'll, as we say, perform it as a suite so that we can kind of be part of the story. It's called Valley of the Dragon, and here's the dragon, and there's a harpist in the story, of course. Big shock, right? Let me make sure I'm ready.
And Denise, you wanted me to mention that even though it is 13 pieces, we want to be able to sustain the flow of the entire suite.
Story, the feeling of the story, yes.
So no applause in between the pieces. We're going to let it culminate to the ending. Yeah?
I'm ready when you are.
The Valley of the Dragon. In a faraway valley, a dragon slumbers. She has been asleep so long that people know her only through the stories and songs that have been passed down through the ages. The legends tell of a beautiful but dangerous dragon whose scales of shamrock, amber, and ivory mesmerize all who see her. The dragon wakes from her slumber and, as dragons do, leaves a trail of death and destruction throughout the kingdom. The people fight a long and hard battle, losing many. The kingdom's bravest are tired and hungry, and so is the dragon. A harpist glides down the pathway into the valley of the dragon, where wanderers are rarely seen. She carries her harp, a single wing of alder and ash, strapped to her back. The wire strings of her harp are her only defense against the dragon. The harpist secures her harp on the field of the dead and runs a finger along tarnished metal blades, slow and meticulous, as she moves them into place for a melody she has never played before and may never play again. The cloudy sky is open to hear her play, shining light across the battlefield. The harper's hands. Accounts of her song will vary widely. Some will say she played with furious fingers, vengeful in her every note. Some will say she played like the snow, soft and sleepy. Others will say she played with the melancholy of every soul that died that day. And some will argue she played with the love in their hearts as they defended their homes and their families. When the harpist plays her final note, she lays her hands flat against the strings as if to say, the end. The dragon thumps its tail against the ground in a single clap of applause for collapsing onto one side. dragon sleeps under the spell of the wire strings. In her slumber, she becomes an impassable mountain range of snow and scales. The hero's song. After completing her task, the harpist walks away and does not look back. She does not think of herself as a hero. She does not want to be remembered as one. She leaves her harp behind, knowing the valley needs it more than she does. A young girl watches with admiration as the harpist leaves the valley. Someday she too will stand before an enemy with a song, not a sword. The young girl catches a glint of yellow light as the dragon's eye opens just a crack to watch the harpist go over the mountain and into legend herself. The dragon then turns its gaze toward the harp, but it's gone. Now it is in new hands.
up and see the harp, that's fine. If you're one of my students, please come so Michael can take our picture together, just because we're not usually all together. He's got his fancy camera. I mean, we might as well take advantage. And harp students. I'm sorry, I should have said harp students. Harp students for picture. Do you think it worked? We'll have to ask my sister. Hey, Emily, did it work? She can text me. You guys be careful going home, and I always give this the Wednesday that's 8 days before Thanksgiving, always the same date. Lord willing, go rise, did it work?
Robin Gordon just.
Robin saw it?
Yeah.
I wonder how she discovered it.
I think it alerts our.
Some alert came up?
subscribers.
That's awesome. She's awesome, Robin Gordon Cartier. Oh,
Oh.
Emily.
Amy White put something on there too.
Amy White put something too.
Yeah.
Enjoyed Denise Bourbon Harp recital. Emily said, we have it up. So I guess they got it to work. So anyway, thanks to guys for coming. Yeah, see, like here's C, and there's C sharp. Yeah, so very handy. I just flip them when I need them. Sometimes on the fly, sometimes in advance.